Oh, hello friends. Welcome back to Greener. Today we're talking about battery backups. You see, we live in the middle of nowhere for part of the year, and the odds of the power going out are pretty high. 1 week this winter we lost power for 5 of 7 days. And when that starts to happen, you start to think about backup power options. There's lots of them out there. You could go with a gas generator, a propane generator like the Generac systems, and they're great. Often they run your whole house, but they're not cheap and they're still burning fossil fuels. So I was looking for a greener alternative, and that's where these battery backups came in. So this summer I purchased this and its bigger brother off Kickstarter, and I'm really glad we did because when we lost power, it kind of saved our bacon. So what exactly is this?
Well, this is the Ecoflow Delta Max.
It's basically batteries, a screen, a charge controller, and a bunch of outlets packed into one neat and tidy unit that you can use as a backup power source. Super easy to use. You basically just turn it on by hitting this button here and start plugging stuff in. There are a bunch of ports. On the back, you got 6 regular household AC outlets and a 12-volt cigarette lighter. And then on the front, you got 2 USB-C ports, you got 2 fast charging USB ports, and then 2 regular USB ports. When it comes to charging this bad boy, there's 3 ways to do it. You can plug it into the wall, you can charge with solar, or you can plug it into your car. Or you can do a combination of things. This battery will get from 0 to 80% in 65 minutes, which is pretty cool. When we lost power, this was getting low. We ran it for a couple days. We drove into town, we dropped it off at a friend who has power on the way, plugged it into the wall, went and got groceries, came back, fully charged, can use it again for a couple more days. So it's pretty handy that way. I love how fast it charges. The other way you can charge is through solar. It really depends on how many panels you have. The max input on this is 800 watts. So if you have 2 400-watt solar panels, I think this will charge in like 3 or 4 hours. If you only have like one 150-watt solar panel, obviously it's gonna take much longer. So it really depends on your setup, but it's cool that you can charge with solar if you're just out in the middle of nowhere. Or you can also plug it in and use solar and kind of get it to charge even quicker. Lastly, you can plug it into your car, which is going to be pretty slow. To me, that's more maintaining your battery than it is charging it from 0. It would, it's just going to take a long time. But you'll find as you start plugging stuff in, you'll get a feel for what each appliance or gadget uses. So if it's something small, you might not be draining your battery at all. You can just maintain it with the car or with the solar panel or whatever. So lots of options here for charging. So this is a 2 kilowatt hour battery. And if you look at the website, it says it can run 2,400 watts or up to 3,400 watts with its X-Boost technology, in case you have to run some bigger appliances. Now I see your eyes glazing over and you're thinking, Eli, I don't know what that means. And I get it. All you really want to know is what can I plug into this and how long is it going to last? So instead of me reciting facts from the website, why don't I show you some real world examples that we used. Starting with my MacBook Pro. So let's plug this in here. There's a button on the back to turn on the AC here. Boop. Plug this in and this should update and show what we're drawing here. About 70 to 80 watts. It says it'll last about 17 hours. It'll actually probably last longer because once the battery is fully charged, it'll be drawing nothing, but that gives you an idea. So laptop, no problem. I plugged in this light, it's got an LED bulb in there. It's literally drawing so little, it's not even showing up. Plugged in the second light, still nothing. So you can run a lot of these LED lamps, clearly. All right, how about this kettle? Oh, we're waiting to charge the phone. That bumped it up 10 watts. So now we're at 1043 when it's plugged in, 1034 when it's not. It draws about 1,000 watts, but because it doesn't last that long, we basically went from 98% down to 93%. So you can boil the kettle quite a few times. It's a lot of tea. Cool, so we got some tea. What else? You hungry? You want some toast? Toaster. Same deal, looking around, all around 1,000, 924. I have it on a pretty light setting here. I like it mildly, barely toasted. I like warm bread, basically. I mean, there's no bread in there, but imagine. Costs you %. You can make some warm bread for %. Let's say you like a really burnt, it might cost you 2%. Maybe your tea's getting cold and you need to microwave it. I ran it for 30 seconds. It pulls around 1500 watts. It costs you about 1%. So it says you can go about an hour when it's going there, full blast, high power. I don't know what you're cooking in the microwave for an hour. Turkey, I don't know what you're doing, but no judgment here. All right, what about tools? Grinder. It said 460, 4 hours. Circular saw. 1033, similar to your toaster, says 2 hours. Chop saw. 1081, says 2 hours. Table saw. 790, 2 hours. Chainsaw. 1090, 2 hours. Maybe you want to listen to a record, or maybe you just want to Netflix and chill. Right now, I got Netflix going on the TV, I got a record playing, I got the stereo receiver going, I got the satellite receiver going, that lamp, and Google Home, and it still says it's only pulling 103 watts. It's gonna last for 13 hours. That is a lot of Netflix. I would probably plug in my fridge, but to each their own.
From coast to coast, nobody's cooler than you. Wow!
Speaking of cool, let's talk about the fridge. All those other things are nice to have, but being able to keep your fridge plugged in so your food doesn't go bad is huge. So right now it's plugged in, it's drawing about 87 watts. I've seen it go up to 93. It's saying it will last 18 hours, but I know it's longer. I actually ran a test. I plugged it in overnight, and this will run my fridge on a full charge for 29 hours with nothing else plugged in. So it's pretty good. If you have a small power outage, this will be no problem. It'll get through that. And if you had like a solar panel or something that was giving some input, all you're trying to offset is around 87 or 90. So a 150 watt solar panel would have more than enough power to maintain this fridge so you can run it for a long time. Some other cool things about this battery is it's expandable. So on the side here, there's a couple ports, and you can actually triple the size by getting 2 other batteries. They're 2 kilowatt hours each, so you have 6 kilowatt hours total, which would basically multiply all those times by 3.
Other perks, unlike other generators, it's super quiet. It only weighs 47 pounds, so it's portable, and there's an app so you can control and monitor it remotely.
Overall, I'm super happy with this battery. When the power goes out, I can still run the TV, make some toast, make some tea, charge my gadgets, run the internet. It really changes the game. It goes from surviving to making it not so bad. If you found this helpful, hope you hit that like button and subscribe. I really appreciate it. If not, meh. I'm not looking for perfection here, people. Let's just be a little bit better than yesterday.